What's the latest in my life? I have a new best friend, and it's a real life person. In fact, it is my roommate. The home is a sanctuary, a safe place, a place where you can be yourself. Well, what if the person you live with doesn't know you're transgender? That's what it's like right now. My roommate is really cool, and we live in an isolated place where there's not a lot of people and not a lot of the typical distractions of city life or suburban life. We are in a desolate place where we can we can entertain ourselves at home, or we can use the gym facility. And what we do is we work out a lot, we share food together, and these are things we have in common. We're very well matched in these two areas, eating and working out. We like the same foods, and we like to cook. We like to cook for each other, and it's a real surprise. You know, I'll come home after a day of work, and it will be taco night, and it's great. And likewise, I'm getting closer to someone, a new person, and I really don't want to share about the past. I don't want to share about being trans. And sometimes I wonder, does that come across as lying when you? But it doesn't. I mean, I guess it's not like I wonder that, but sometimes it seems that way. There was a time when I came out to someone post-transition, you know, and he said, "Hey, I didn't realize that." You know, it was just after a month of knowing each other. He's like, "No more secrets after this, okay? No more secrets." But the thing is these are private things, and it's not necessary to come out all the time, especially with sensitive information, personal information. You do not have to tell. It's like you can keep that private. But what is the line between private and kind of inappropriate secret? What is the line? That is a good question. But so in this situation, you know, we're getting closer and closer. We're doing a lot of things. We're going on weekend adventure, overnight trips. And I'm in a position where I still don't like really being touched. And sometimes, you know, give me a nice squeeze on the back. And I have like a binder right here. I have these things, these uncomfortable physical things. A lot of them have to do with boobs. Where, like, even when we're working out, you know, we'll go down and do the bench press, and that's something I really hesitated to do because I don't like lying flat because my boobs go up in my face. No, I'm just kidding. I have these nightmares of what it may look like or so. And I've kind of looked in the mirror like, what do I look like laying down? It doesn't quite look normal. But the thing is, just because it's not an issue and because I don't talk about that part of myself with him, he's not looking for it, and he doesn't see it. And people generally, when they are spotting someone on the bench press, they're looking more at the bar and making sure the person is holding it, you know, properly and not letting it fall down. And I'm thinking about a lot of these things. You know, it's very easy to translate my life into a normal boyhood and growing up into manhood. I just think like, oh, I'll just flip this, and it will make perfect sense. But I see in my stories sometimes how it is different than a cisgender experience. For example, we were talking about girls, and I was trying to describe how this girl I had a crush on was so beautiful. We were walking down the street together, and this guy comes up to her and is like, "Hey, I just want to tell you something. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen." You know, and I was like, "Isn't that amazing?" And he's like, "That's kind of weird that a guy would walk up to you. I mean, wouldn't he think you're together and like not do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, that is kind of sad, because that's something when you're a same-sex couple, or even it's like this constant struggle where people either don't see you as together with the person that you're together with, or and you get ignored and not acknowledged, and it's very painful, or you're walking with just a regular friend, and you're a girl walking with another girl, and then someone thinks you're together, and then they're harassing you, or you're with your girlfriend, and someone's harassing you. Anyway, and so I'm like, man, that's a very privileged perspective, and that's what one person would think by default, but there's just so much fun stuff involved though with having a new friend, and because of this whole low population that we're in here, we end up spending a lot of time connecting, and it's unusual. It's not something that would happen if we were, well, maybe it would, I don't know, if we were in college together or something. There'd be so much more going on. But we're just these adults sharing space, and I always hope that, like, hope I didn't leave any of my trans-related items around. You know, there's some different types of clothing and you know, privates and needles, and you know, I have my stuff. It's not under lock and key. It's not under piles of things so people can't find them. Like my photo albums are kind of like out there, and my drawer of prescriptions, and you know, it's just right there in the bathroom. And if he was a super nosy person, he could find out or see that or this or that. And I don't really care if he did, by, you know, by some snoop detective work, you know, see something that that really doesn't matter to me. It's I just don't personally want to go, you know, have this you know, heart to heart coming out moment, because it doesn't apply to the connection we have. It just doesn't apply. If it, you know, if I'm it's like in certain situations it does, and in this one, to me, it just doesn't. And it's something I keep thinking about, how funny it would be, like, at certain moments to be like, hey, guess what? But at the same time, I don't know. And if I did do that, if I just popped out all of a sudden, and it wasn't relevant, then it would be like, why are you playing a trick on me? You know, like, what's this? And it's not a trick. It's what's real. What's real is what we're experiencing now. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because it's really fun, and the weird thing too that happened. It's a great mix because he's kind of growing up, and I'm also in this. I'm older and more mature in some ways just because of time. And we're bringing each other to this meeting point level, and so he's kind of inspiring me to be more social on the weekends, you know, going out and enjoying the nightlife, which is something I kind of missed out growing up. And then likewise, I'm kind of really, just by, you know, being myself, I'm kind of encouraging him to be more moderate with his activities and his spending and his eating and things. Like more healthy. Everything's more healthy that I'm kind of introducing, and he's kind of introducing more of a, like, let loose, like, try some things out. And so it's cool. It's just cool way to experience being a man. And some of the conversations we're having are like conversations I've never had with other people and other guys, you know, just through this process and so forth. And it's really good for me. But weird thing that did happen one time, we were going out, and maybe he had something to drink, and so he was just messing up his words a little, but he did refer to me in a sentence about like how we came over here and something that I did, and he referred to me as she 2 times, and I was like, what? Pronoun slips? That's a little too familiar. What's going on? But I think it was just an accident, and it was a weird thing, and maybe it was like a Freudian slip or a psychic moment, but whatever it was, I could tell that, you know, he doesn't think I'm a woman at all, or didn't. But if he does, again, that's okay. Like, I really don't care, because it's obviously not a consistent thing. Just happened that one time, and I was like, huh. Some people were like, wouldn't that be funny if he was trans too, and you didn't know, and he was like keeping it from you, but he's not. And it's funny because we are the same exact, like, size and height, and we have the same shoe size, which is so cool. We can share clothes and stuff, but he's a lot more broad in the shoulders. He's got a different sort of musculature, and by spending time in close proximity, I can really see my physical differences, like my womanly differences, you know, because I'm more skinny than he is, but I look just more round, especially because of the hips and the maybe a little bit the thighs. The whole hips thing makes women's legs look distinct, like the female structure look distinct. So I can really see that when I, like, compare us or whatever. Which is, you know, I'm not to say that I'm comparing to, like, rate myself, but I am by default sometimes looking at the differences between us and learning about myself and stuff, just seeing myself in certain ways. But he grows a really thick, gnarly beard one day. I hope to have something similar, but it's kind of funny. My beard's coming in not very symmetrical. What? Like, how can I grow a sideburn on one side and not the other side? That's just not right. What is going on? And like, it's not a good sign when you can count how many hairs are in your beard. Not a good sign. But just doing a little test right here, just a weekend test, and get rid of that, because yeah, doesn't feel good just having weird little stragglers on there. I like the clean cut look. No, but yeah, do any of you have good stories about post-transition friendships and the after party? No, just kidding. I don't know what that means. I know there's a number of different experiences. Share them in the comments. Thanks. Bye.